need you all to understand the way that I've literally recorded this podcast twice already before this, but also it didn't actually record either time. And I'm upset because I thought the first time was good and then the second time was golden. And now I'm going to try and recreate it, but it's just, the hope is gone. Amateur moves, rookie moves, man. Amateur hour over here. But anyway, hello. Welcome back to Someday I'll Have a Podcast. My name is Ren. I'm your host. This is just a hodgepodge, mix and match, up, down, left, right, center type of show where you never know what you're going to get. Today I'm feeling really hype though, despite all of my mistakes that I've made already. I've been in a good mood. I've been blasting music, great music all day long. I've been just happy to be here, happy to be alive. And so I kind of want to keep that energy flowing through this episode. So with all of my craziness, let's just stop for a moment, take a deep breath, take a sip of coffee, ASMR, and just get right into it, kind of. I remember in college, my roommates always used to laugh at me and make fun of me and yell at me because I'd always slurp my coffee like that or soup. And I'm like, you guys don't understand it. The slurp is because it's hot. So it's like you cool it as you sip by slurping, you know. Drop in the comments if that's something that you do too. Highly doubt it, but it's who I am. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm losing my mind a little, guys. Okay, today basically I wanted to talk about when and why do we stop saying hello to each other. And let me kind of give you some context or some background as to what I even mean. The other day, I was at the post office and there was who I presume was a dad, handling post office-y ththings, and a baby in a stroller. And this baby and I, we were waving at each other. We were giggling, peekabooing it up. We were talking kind of, baby, the baby talk type stuff. And of course I had a little bit of interaction with the dad as well, but it made me wonder why and when do we stop interacting with children and with each other out in public? And I get that to some extent, once a child is above the age of, 7, it becomes maybe a little weird and maybe you don't want to step on any toes. And I mean, some people out in the world are actually weird with ill intent when talking to kids and interacting with kids. And so you definitely don't want to be perceived in that way. But besides that, I'm why do we stop smiling and waving and laughing and talking to each other, to people out in the world? And I don't want this to be a conversation about social media and cell phones and they're the devil, because it's simply not true. We use them, we love them, we know them. We all have a supercomputer in our pocket, and maybe sure it could be to blame. Because I imagine about 30 years ago, before the advent of, the internet, we were always striking up conversations and waving and smiling to, people in public, out in the world. And why do we stop, and at what age do we stop conversing with kids? I feel it's pretty normal to see a baby and you're like, oh, baby, and you're, playing peekaboo, or you're waving, or you're making a silly face. I mean, I guess let me know if that's normal for you too. But then at what age do we stop? I'm not going to be weird and talk to teenagers while they're out and about on their own. That kind of thing. I understand that there's an unspoken boundary there, but even adults, why have we stopped or lost the art of chatting with each other, or smiling and waving, or even smile and nodding at the person stopped next to us at the stoplight? I feel it's, it's perceived as oh, that's really weird. Why is this person looking at me? And I get it to some extent. And I am not the person that always wants to talk. I'm very, very content just being in my own little world, tossing my headphones in and going to the store or whatever. But I also think it can be just as developmentally important to interact and connect with each other as adults as it is for babies. We know that seeing babies and little children it's good for them to see different faces in the world and, be exposed to, different types of people, what different people look like, what different people sound like that's very important for their development. But why don't we think that it's as important for our social development as adults to interact with people? I think it's really common these days to, when you go out and sit down at a bar, you're just maybe interacting with a bartender. I feel it's less and less common to just see people strike up a conversation sitting next to one another. like it used to be so much more common. Now you sit down and everyone's on their phones if they're waiting for someone, or they're kind of not, I don't know, in that space of like, I want to talk to each other, which is crazy because that's like, these are social spaces. We're meant to be social. We're meant to have those connections. The smile and wave, it can be that simple. And seriously, guys, now more than ever, like we need it. We are social creatures. We are not made to be isolated. And like the power of a smile, guys, it's real. You can really change someone's day by just a little smile. And here's another example. I was just at the store. I was getting a gift for a baby shower, and I'm in the diaper aisle, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what the numbers mean. I don't know what these different styles mean. And this kind lady was helping me. And I'm not saying we're going to like go become BFFs because we talked in the diaper aisle, but it was really nice to be able to have a conversation with a stranger. And it's nice to connect with someone like that. Like, it doesn't have to be that you're becoming best friends with every person that you're out in the world with, but it made me feel, like I'm part of a community. Like I am, like it kind of, what's that word? What's that idea? It's like a psychological theory of like social safety. And it kind of like raised my social trustworthiness. I'm totally butchering this, but it's like that kind of idea. And also, we hear this rhetoric all the time these days of, it's really hard to make new friends as an adult. And it very well can be, but I think it's because we're so closed off. As an adult, I make so many of my like new friends like out at music festivals or out at concerts because that's what I'm into. But I understand that not everyone has that, type of hobby where they're engaging with people. But I like, what about going to church? What about getting involved with a sporting league, or like, I don't know, if you have children, you're the parents of your children's friends, like put yourself out there and open yourself up a little bit to make those connections. And then I also hear like, I have enough friends. I don't need any new friends. But I call bullshit, okay? Nothing like expanding your network can only help you and like enhance your life, I believe. And I'm not saying, again, you have to be best friends with every new person that you make eye contact with in the coffee creamer aisle. But I think there's value in opening up your heart and opening up your network a little bit. And I think not only for like, to expand my network and like, have connections are good to have, like whatever, but also just like for our mental health. Like I said, we are social beings, and like belonging is on the very lowest parts of Maslow's hierarchy of needs in psychological theory. So belonging doesn't have to be like the family that you have. It can be in your community, feeling like you're in a safe environment to go shopping and talk to your neighbors. I think that's so important. And I think we've kind of lost that art. I'm just going to challenge you, as I've started to challenge myself after having these little moments out in public the last few days. I challenge you to just open yourself up a little bit. Maybe next time, instead of putting your headphones in when you grocery shop, be open to a conversation. Be open to a smile and a nod in the grocery store. You don't know how the effect that it could have on you. And believe me, I get it. Like that type of thing, those are my podcast times. Like that's my podcast hour when I'm just like strolling through the grocery store or whatever, running my errands. But also like challenge yourself one time to just maybe try and make that connection. You don't have to become best friends with them. You don't have to offer up all of the information about your life, but it can be beneficial, I really believe. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to come in and chat about today. I know it's been a short and sweet episode. I know I haven't been around in a while, so thank you so much for clicking, for seeing this pop up and clicking and being here with me. I love it. And now we're to the part of the episode where I give you a song recommendation, because I know the world has been crazy, but the music lately, guys, has been kick ass, let me tell you. And I have great music taste. Like, seriously, trust me on this. Like, I really do. Like, listen to my songs objectively and tell me I'm wrong, because you can't. Like, I will die on that hill. I have great music taste. So anyway, I feel like I've been recommending a lot of the same types of songs and also maybe the same types of artists. So I want to give something a little bit different. I'm just going to choose from my recently liked songs and give you a recommendation. So the one I will recommend today is The Door. the CYRIL remix. It is a Teddy Swims song, the CYRIL remix. I hope I'm saying that right. But it is kind of like a sad and soulful song, but with a electronic twist to it. So I really like it. I really enjoy the melody and all of that. So I highly recommend this song. That is The Door by Teddy Swims, the CYRIL remix, and it will also be linked in the show notes. Also, as always, I want this to be a conversation, guys. I want you to tell me what you think, whether it's about the songs, whether it's about the ideas I've presented in the episode, whatever it might be. Drop a comment, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, DMing me on Instagram. Like, let's make this a community affair, guys. We're all, connection is all part of it. It's all the basis of everything we have. So with that, thank you once again for being here. I'm trying to nurture this as I have 925,000 other projects I'm working on, but I want to nurture someday I'll have a podcast. So with that, don't forget to make your someday today, because someday never comes otherwise. And I will catch you in the next episode. Thanks for coming by. Bye.